Huber getting a win here in qualifier number 1. Second qualifier going to make its way up onto the raceway now. Starting up at the inside front row, the BPI Piping 71, that's Eric Mack. Mack will go from the inside front row. Outside of him going to be the number 1 of Rich Ronca. Rich Ronca, the younger of the two racing Ronca brothers, back in row 2. It'll be the elder of the two, the 65-year-old driver. Picked up a feature event victory back in the month of June, becoming the oldest driver ever to win a modified feature here. That's Don Ronca, the elder of the two racing Ronca brothers. He'll fire from the inside of row 2 with the 7. Outside of him, James Meehan with a 32C. Then we got the 20 of David Schilling and the 87 of Neil Stratton side by side in row 3. The 97 of Chris Vernold will start on the inside of row 4. On the outside of row 4, your current high point man, that is the 21A, our Australian competitor. That's Batman Peter Britton. Britton going to come from the 8 starting spot, 10 laps, 6 cars to qualify, 4 to handicap. Eric Mack going to stand on the accelerator off of turn number 4. Mack going to bring him down here into turn number 1, going to roll off of turn number 2 as your leader. 3 wide back there for the 3rd spot that time. Here's Don Ronca looking down to the inside of Eric Mack. Ronca and Mack side by side as they make their way down here to turn 1. Up through the corner they go, and off at turn number 2. Mack going to hang on to that number 1 position. Don Ronca rides 2nd. Then we find the Heiko Fabrication number 32 car of James Meehan. Meehan back there in 3rd spot. David Schilling back there in spot number 4. And Neil Stratton rounding out your top 5 here as we come down to put lap number 3 on the board. 3 laps in, Eric Mack showing the way down here to turn number 1. Don Ronca working, looking down low, but here comes the 32 of James Meehan. Meehan will go by Ronca. Meehan now goes by Mack. Mack trying to get back to him here off of turn number 4. But James Meehan making a move from 3rd to 1st. The Heiko Fabrication number 32C of James Meehan has gone to the front. Good battle back there for 2nd. Don Ronca trying to pull up even here with the 71 of Eric Mack as they work their way down here through the corner. Down the back straightaway they go to turn number 3. David Schilling back there in 4th. Neil Stratton rounds out your top 5 as they work their way down. 1 spot out of a top 5 run. But in a qualifying position, that is Peter Britton. Britton back there in 6th with the Faxon Excavating number 21A car. Here's Don Ronca peeking down low, going to work, trying to take the spot away from Eric Mack. He'll take it away. David Schilling going to pull the Done Better Pool sponsored entry up into 3rd spot now, and looks like Mack may have issues on the BPI Piping number 71 car. Mack dropping back to 5th position now. Here comes Britton looking down to the inside of him. 2 to go sign has been displayed. 2 laps remain here in qualifier number 2 for the modified heat race number 2. Winding down now, James Meehan up on the front with the 32 car. A great battle back there for 2nd. David Schilling up on the outside trying to take the spot away. He'll do so at the line. As they come down across the line, it is James Meehan winning it easily. Meehan getting the win in the 32. David Schilling at the line coming across in the runner-up spot over Don Ronca in the number 7. Ronca will finish 3rd. Neil Stratton, the 2nd-generation driver out of Bennington. Vermont campaigner there, the 87. He will finish 4th. And our Australian competitor, our current high point man, Peter Britton, rounds out your top 5 with the 21A car. So the win goes to James Meehan. Here's heat race number 3. Tommy D'Angelo going to start inside row 1 with the 23C. Outside of him is going to be the 2RJ. That is Ronnie Johnson. Back in row number 2, our defending champion here at the Speedway, the 111 of Demetrius Drelos. He'll start inside row 2. On the outside of him, the 11X of Josh Masterson, the modified rookie out of the Green Mountain State. One of our Vermont campaigners, Masterson, will come from 4th. Then we got the 2-time winner. That's Jesse Mueller in the 19 car. He'll fire from the inside of row 3 and the outside of row number 3. That's where we find our 2020 champion, the 35, the Adirondack Auto, number 35, and Mike Mahaney. Then it's a pair of 3 cars. Our most recent winner, the 2-time champion, Mark Johnson. He starts on the inside of row 4. Outside of him, the 3D of Matty D, our 2022 champion, as we are underway. 4 previous track champions here in this qualifying event. As they make their way down the back straightaway, it's going to be Ronnie Johnson out to an early lead. They're 3 wide back there for the runner-up spot. Josh Masterson trying to make a move. Demetrius Drelos down to the inside. Double D's got the runner-up position now, but here comes Matty D right down the middle. He drives it around the 19 of Mueller. Looking to get down to the inside of the 11X of Masterson. They work their way down here to turn number 1. Down the back straightaway they run. Ronnie Johnson out front. Now Double D going to take over the runner-up position. Here's Masterson looking down to the inside of Drelos. That's the race for second spot. The 19 of Jesse Mueller trying to draw in and make that a 3-car battle for the runner-up position. They work their way down the back straightaway. The 19 of Mueller shows in 4th, but he's got Matt DiLorenzo working up on the outside of him. 1 spot out of a top 5 run, but a qualifying spot goes to the White Knight, the 3J of Mark Johnson. Good battle for second continues as your leader, Ronnie Johnson, looking to run away and hide up here on the front of this one. The Nichols Automotive 2RJ, your leader, Josh Masterson, a masterful run. Here, the modified rookie finding himself in the runner-up position. He's got the Greek streak right behind him. Demetrius Drelos hugging the inside rail. Off of turn number 4, Drelos not able to draw in on Josh Masterson. Then it's Jesse Mueller. He was a winner 2 weeks ago. Got his 2nd win of the season. Trying to hold off last Friday night's feature event winner. That's Mark Johnson. Johnson now, the White Knight working down to the inside here off of turn number 4. They're going to come to 2 to go at the line this time by Ronnie Johnson. Going to be the first to see the parallel flags. 2 laps remain here for RJ and the 2RJ. Masterson continuing to ride in second. The 111 of Demetrius Drelos back there in 3rd. Battle for 4th now. Mark Johnson pulls down to the inside of Mueller. White flag is out for RJ. One more time around the great race place here in qualifier number 3. Johnson going to win this one easily. He will cruise off turn number 4 for the win. Ronnie Johnson picks up the win. Here's the race for second. Going to go to Josh Masterson with the 11. Masterson will finish in the runner-up spot. Demetrius Drelos will come home in the 3rd spot. The White Knight, Mark Johnson, will finish in 4th, and Jesse Mueller will round out your top 5. So Ronnie Johnson goes wire to wire in the 2RJ, but got to tip your cap to Josh Masterson, the modified rookie out of Vermont, coming home in the runner-up spot, holding off our defending champion, Demetrius Drelos. Want to welcome all the folks looking in on the DTD TV Facebook Live look-in. You're watching the Albany-Saratoga Speedway, entering our 4th and final qualifier for the Napa Mods. We've got ESS Sprints on hand tonight with a full program of racing to go along. Final modified qualifier, 4th and final heat race. Chris Bizen with the Bizen Excavating 435 going to go from the inside front row. Outside of him, it's going to be the Van Ort Contracting 4B of Derek Bourne. Derek had a great run a week ago. Then we got young Ryan McCartney down in Dutchess County, but calls Mooresville, North Carolina home these days. He starts inside row 2 with the 18. Jack Spieshak, the 08. Outside of him, the 17G of Garrett Poland starts inside row 3. Justin Stone, the third-generation driver out of Middlebury, Vermont, with a 15X. Jack Lehner, the Ginger Ninja, will fire from the inside of row 4 with a 2L. And Walter Hammond in the 77 rounds out your starting order. Down to turn number 1 they go. They're 3 wide early here as they make their way down the back straightaway. The Donnelly Construction 08 car to Jack Spieshak. Going to bring him around. He'll lead lap number 1. Spieshak started back on the outside of row number 2. He is going to go to the number 1 spot. He will start to pull away. Spieshak, your leader, down here to turn number 3. We've got him side by side back there for third. Ryan McCartney up on the outside. The green filter, number 18 machine, taking over third. A little bobble that time by Justin Stone back towards the tail of the field. They come down here off of turn number 4. Up on the front, Jack Spieshak showing the way. Spieshak in control as they make their way down here off of turn number 2. Spieshak was a feature event winner back in the month of May. He picked up the victory in that Donnelly Construction car. Comes into tonight's competition, 10th place in points. Jack Spieshak got a fast hot rod going right now. Here's the battle for second. Ryan McCartney looking down to the inside of Derek Bourne. He'll pull back up in line behind Skippy Bourne down here to turn number 1. McCartney back there in third spot, now losing touch with the Bourne 4B. Jack Lehner from the tail, going to make his way up into the 4th spot. 5th spot is the 435 of Chris Bizen. 6 laps on the board as they make their way down the back straightaway. It is all the 0 of Jack Spieshak up on the front. Spieshak going to bring him down off of turn number 4 as your leader, making his way up off of corner number 2. When he comes back to the line, he'll see parallel flags. Skippy Bourne now going to make a run at your leader. Here comes Derek Bourne trying to run down Jack Spieshak in the final laps here of our final qualifier for the modifieds. Bourne just turned the wick up on that 4B car. He's trying to turn the heat up now on Spieshak. Here's Bourne looking down low, couldn't make it work that time. White flag is in the air one more time around here for Jack Spieshak. Spieshak out front. Derek Bourne trying to play the role of the spoiler here in this one. Here's Bourne going to dive bomb his way down to turn 3. Up on the outside, Spieshak will bring him to checkers. Jack Spieshak will get the win. So Jack Spieshak picks up the victory in heat race number 3. Derek Bourne made it interesting. He'll come across the line in second. Third spot goes to Ryan McCartney in the 18 car. Then the 2L of Jack Lehner will finish in 4th. Rounding out your top 5, that's going to be Justin Stone with the 15X car. So that is your modified qualifying. Heat race number 4 goes to Jack Spieshak. He joins Ronnie Johnson, James Meehan, and Scott Huber as your 4 heat race winners here in modified competition. Modified's going to make their way back to the pit area, as you can see down here in turn number 1, starting to push off the ESS sprint cars, getting them in position to push off.